Well, hello friends and family and gardeners who stumbled across my page. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sheila and this is my first YouTube video on gardening. I have been an avid gardener for about 20 years, but the last 5 years I've gotten really serious with it, and we purchased this property that is just shy of a 1/4 acre. And we decided to turn the whole yard into primarily gardens with some lawn. I'm not a huge fan of lawn, and I definitely am not an expert in caring for lawns. I have a lot of what most people would call weeds. I have buttercup, I have some crabgrass, and I've got dandelions everywhere, but I choose to leave them so that we can feed the pollinators. And clover, I also have clover. It looks beautiful from a distance, but if you get close to my lawn, you're definitely going to judge it. Anyway, this is my first video, so it's probably going to be a little rough, but I just thought it was time. Since I put so much energy into this yard, it is going to be a lot of fun to share it with everybody. And I will also say, I am in no way, shape, or form an expert or even trained in horticulture. A lot of what I do is trial and error and just things I've figured out along the way. So if I'm doing something that you perceive as wrong, feel free to let me know in a kind way, and I can explore other ways to do things or decide that I like it the way that I do it. Anyway, I'm going to give you a short tour of the yard tomorrow, but for now I'm going to share with you a project I'm working on in the front yard on the porch. I will share the before video, and then I will also share a video of me working on the project, and then the after. Anyway, should be a fun day. Here we go. Okay, so here is the front porch area. It's really nothing to write home about. It's pretty boring. We have some structural issues with our cement due to this area being a floodway, and it actually does flood here from time to time, but the last time was 2009, so it's been a while. But unfortunately, this side of the porch has sunk quite a bit, and I haven't figured out what I want to do with it yet, because it has caused some issues with this beam being tipped. So we have a little bit of a twisted beam and a gap up there at the top. And so I need to consult with the contractor to figure out how to fix that. But for now, it's stable, it works. We just want to make the porch look a little prettier so people don't notice the things that are wrong with it. So I am going to be working on this area right here, and the first thing I'm going to do is do a little cleanup, and then I will start working with the supplies I have over here. Okay, so here are the materials I will be working with today. I picked up these 3 pots at Lowe's for a very good price. They're all just a resin, plastic resin, so they're very lightweight and they should last for years and years. And then I picked up a few plants here. Spotted dead needle. This is a cousin to the yellow archangel, which is also another spotted dead needle and is very invasive. This one, however, should not be too invasive, and I'm going to use some of this in my pots, and then I'm also going to use it in the shade garden. I picked up this plant, which I have never seen before, and I just thought it was so beautiful. It is Tarella Spring Symphony, and it said that it was for sun and partial shade, and this porch gets morning sun to early afternoon, and then it's all shade in the afternoon. And then I picked up this very sad Brennera. I've always wanted a Brennera, but this one was half off at $7. I couldn't resist. So as you can see, the soil's pretty compacted. It's going to need some fresh soil, a little feed and water. it'll bounce back and be just fine. And that's also going in a pot on the porch. That is a shade plant. So I'm going to get busy cleaning the porch first, and then we will work on getting these pots filled and everything organized where I want it. So one thing I like to do when I'm filling my pots, because potting soil is so expensive, is I like to fill it about halfway with lots of sticks, twigs, pieces of wood, things that take up some space and the soil can work its way around it, and then it decomposes and it actually helps feed the plants later down the street or down the road. I'll take a few of these out. There we go. I like to take this bottom piece off, just rip it off, throw it aside, and just kind of mess up the roots, and then just kind of mess up the roots on the side, because the roots have been trained to go around the inside of the pot and we want them to stretch out and down into the soil. So we're going to put them there. And we're going to grab a couple of these. I believe the layman's term for them is lamium, the dead needle. We're going to do the same thing. Kind of rough them up just a little. And we need a little more soil for those. We want these to kind of spill down the side of the pot. And I think 3 will be just fine, because they're going to fill in all this space. And we're just going to water that in and let the soil settle and see how much more soil we need. Not too bad. I don't think we need any extra soil. There should be plenty. And let's get it where we want it. Bink. I think we'll put it on that side. So this pot has these little areas right here that need to be punched out. It's our drain holes. The other one had them, but it's such a big pot, and I water up here so infrequently because everything's in the shade that I just left those in there. But this is a smaller pot, so I'm going to pop those out. So before we go in, I'll show you one of my favorite plants in the garden. This is comfrey. And not only does it have really beautiful flowers, but this is a beneficial plant for so many things. It's medicinal, and the bees absolutely love it. And the leaves are really rough and kind of funky, but it has the most beautiful little purple blue flowers. And it grows so well, and I have it in several spots in the yard. And what I do when I need to cut it back, which is a few times a year, and I cut it literally to the ground and it comes back, is I put it in here with water, and I make this lovely little slurry that smells a lot like poo. But it is some of the best fertilizer that you can get. And I probably fill it, 3/4 of the way full every year, and I don't ever change it. Some people change it, but I find that it doesn't lose its potency too much, and when I add new comfrey in there, it just kind of revives it. So what I like to do is, if I can find it, reduce, reuse, and recycle. And I take my little creamer bottle, and yep, I do this without gloves. I just fill it, about that much. And then we're gonna take it around to the front yard. We're gonna fill this up the rest of the way. We'll see what we think of that from out here. Oh, it's so hard to tell because it's so shadowy right now with the sun. Oh yes, I absolutely love that. Do you see how the blue pots are pulling in the blue from my glass balls that are in with my topiary? And that's Vinca minor that I have coming down the pots. I actually just transplanted that from the yard this week, and I'll probably trim it back soon, but it looks kind of pretty like that right now. And by the end of summer, there'll be tons of it and it'll be spilling everywhere. So that's that for now. I think I'm going to keep the white pot for something else. And I think I'm just gonna put the Chinese pottery out. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to put in those. I'll be right back when I figure it out. Okay guys, I am done. And I decided that it needed a pop of white after all. And one of the other things I really enjoy is thrifting. And I found this lantern at Value Village for $11 and got home, searched it. It's Pottery Barn, and it's far more expensive than $11. But these are my little Chinese pottery, and basically I just popped that fern out of a spot in the yard that I did not want it. They naturalize here pretty well, so they're popping up everywhere. And then I just decided to go ahead and put the lamium in this little pot because it just looks sweet there. And then of course this little guy looks very sad right now, but we will give him time and see. And you know, it's a $7 gamble. If it lives and it thrives, awesome. If it doesn't, I'm out $7. I pop it out and I put something else in there. But I just love the way that everything goes together, and it makes my little glass balls stand out that I've had in there forever. And then all I did over here was clean up that lantern and put it there. I deleted the other lantern. I just didn't think we needed much. This area right here is always a problem because I have to use this hose. Anything I put here gets knocked over, stepped on, so we just don't do much here. The goal is to get a hose reel. I have one in the back, love it, and eventually I'm gonna get one for the front. But that's the end of this project for today. It only took, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour, and cost me $97 for the pots and the plants that I bought and the soil. Anyway, thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy my first video. I said they could get cringy because I'm learning and I'm not real comfortable in front of the camera, but we'll get there. Have a great day. Bye.